Welcome to the e-PG portal of Pathashala. This is Belinda Lopez talking to you all about cyber extension. Now, a little bit of an introduction to cyber extension. Cyber extension is the modern method of extension education. Extension education, as you all know, has been in existence, and it had its own traditional means of transferring information and communicate and was able to communicate with the people in the community. Now, as and when technology developed, even the methods of extension changed. Now, extension agencies realized the use of cyberspace in extending information, and they have been doing that. The moment they started using cyber techniques and in the process of communicating information to the people, the concept of cyber extension grew. Cyber extension grew, and it kind of developed into a space of its own, wherein people are able to access information related to the sector in which the extension agency is working. Cyber extension is a communication tool wherein traditionally we have been using audiovisual and a combination of audiovisual methods. That was the traditional methods of communication. But with the invention of new technology and with the growth of cyberspace, extension agencies started using cyberspace to communicate with the people. Through the course, we will look at how cyberspace is being used, what are the advantages of cyberspace, what are the disadvantages of cyberspace, and all the such. Cyber extension is defined as extension over cyberspace, but in applied context of agricultural cyber extension means using the power of online networks, computer communication, digital interactive multimedia to facilitate dissemination of agricultural technology. It's a national web-based information and educational network for current and new extension clientele. It is also considered as an e-extension simply as the use of electronic technologies to enhance face-to-face and paper-based interactions. These technologies can be as simple as teleconferences or as complex as wikis and blogs. The e-extension approach are the enhanced solutions to reach the unreached in agriculture with specific information at specific places. E-extension approaches have wide scope that enable agricultural system as transparent with information dissemination. Cyber extension is extension of agricultural development with the help of information and communication technology over cyberspace. Cyberspace is an imaginary space behind networked computers through telecom means. This kind of storage information sharing network is made possible through the power of networks, computer communication, and interactive multimedia. Foucault described it as an integrated system that combines related stakeholders, including central and local governments, research institutions, farming corporations, markets, agricultural extension officers, and the farmer. It has also been described as a system of management of information about agricultural extension that is established in the form of extension gate, which is focused on data and information of agriculture in the form of extension material, specific location material, and news about national as well as regional agricultural development. Cyber extension is also one of the agricultural innovations that can function to make institutions of research and development, studying and service meet with the innovation disseminators, educators, farmers, and other stakeholders that have different types and forms of information needs so that they can function synergically and complete one another mutually. A rural knowledge center is an agency established to assist people in the community access information required for sustained development. Over the years, with advances in technology, the process of communication has been improving. Modern communication technology is capable of being adapted to rural conditions. It is able to provide spaces for a large number of people to participate in community development programs. This modern communication process adapted by extension personnel is called cyber extension. Cyber extension is a term used to indicate the medium of communication. Previously, communication processes included three mediums of communication. That's the audio, visual, and a combination of audio visuals. With advances in communication technology, today we have a fourth medium through which extension personnel can communicate, and that is the cyber communication. Cyber communication is a highly evolved method of communication as it is able to incorporate the three mediums of communication, that's the audio, visual, and combination of audio visuals. Cyber as a medium of communication is a virtual space. When the word virtual is used, it indicates anything in essence or fact, though not physically present, but is made to appear through the use of computers. It includes computers, the data that is fed into the computers, and the system created to transmit the data called the information highway. Over the years, there was a blend of ICT and telecommunication technology. ICT indicates the use of computers, its hardware and software. Telecommunication includes telephones, wired and wireless networks. When these are combined, they provide a range of technologies. Today, there is a constant and persistent upgradation in inventions and adoption of technologies for communications, creating the cyberspace that is able to provide strong information sharing networks. When used by extension, the cyber extension is able to disseminate information effectively. E-extension is capable of acting as a catalyst for extension institutions and those working in the areas of extension and community development. It provides space for sharing knowledge, learn from others, and improve decision-making capabilities. It plays a vital role by using ICT to empower women and rural community members. There is an enhancement in the opportunities of livelihoods and building and sustaining developmental processes, especially of agriculture and food security. This is possible by working and networking. Partners around the globe are connected. UN agencies, local governments, universities, research organizations, NGOs, pharma organizations, private sector, and large communities are connected through the adoption of the e-extension system. Components of a cyber extension. Each rural extension center is an e-extension center. It includes high-end multimedia computers, digital cameras, printers, scanners, and power supply, which constitutes the physical infrastructure. The extension center, which is equipped to act as a cyber unit and is managed by trained extension personnel. This team of personnel undertake all the activities of the extension agency. They organize training programs on a regular and continuous basis and are also providing training to improve computer skills. Some critical components of e-extension centers are the seamless access to unbiased, localized, and research-based information and education. The e-center is able to be responsive to the needs of the people with whom extension programs are conducted. Local and state level information is collected and converted into knowledge. It is capable of measuring success, identify priority areas, and developing management systems also with various other activities. Thereby, it benefits the extension functionary, subject matter specialists, and the public. Now, we need to understand the importance of the cyberspace. And it can never be overemphasized. It is able to provide, cyber extension is able to provide access to stored information in cyberspace free of cost. Any information is available instantaneously. It is also available round the year and at any given point of time. This is not possible in regular centers as information and educators are people and they need breaks. Another important aspect of e-extension is information that can be accessed from any geographical point. E-extension can also be interactive with the inclusion of emails, discussion groups, and various other interactive media. It is a dynamic and ever-growing process. It has major spatial impact on almost all decisions of the program wherever it is used. Cyber extension is important because of its storage capabilities. Large amounts of data on multiple aspects can be stored and retrieved. Mapping of community resources becomes simple with the use of computers. Ability to analyze is also enlarged with the use of cyber. Visualization capabilities increases with the use of computers. Multiple scenarios can be addressed and used simultaneously. E-extension provides flexibility because of the software in adding modular decision-making tools. Cross-disciplinary activities can be undertaken with ease. Provides for continual improvement, improving user-friendly web-based interface. Listing of the importance of is continuous as technology is continuously being updated. Now, the disadvantage of the cyberspace is extension has gained importance as a crucial tool in development communication. However, its application and implementation sees hurdles. Rural communities and even urban communities are not able to use it to their advantage. The reasons are numerous. Illiteracy is still an issue. It is clubbed with a lack of skills to use computers and the economic capabilities of the larger masses. Capital cost of technology is high and is associated with an ongoing cost for support and access. Comparatively, it works out to be expensive. Linked along with high cost and the presence of both irrelevant and relevant information, all information may not be useful to the target group with whom the extension agency is working. Traditional extension approaches like training and zonal workshops take a back seat. It can lead to technological dependency with an inherent need for capacity building. Telecommunication infrastructure for the extension agency may not be provided in many remote and rural areas and in urban areas too. Very often the choice of the new ICT available is severely limited. Cyber extension centers are often characterized by low participation of the target group of the extension agencies. Community members for whom the program is supposed to be undertaken may not be cyber familiar. As a result, planning of extension program becomes non-participatory. Establishment of e-extension centers requires the support of funding agencies. The funding agencies will have their own set of requirements which will not reflect the needs of the community. Some of the issues that rise because of the funding agency may be as follows. A mismatch between the funding agency's focus and the needs of the local community. The needs of quick delivery of results. Disruption in the functioning of extension agency programs because the potential outcomes and the usefulness may not be considered by the funding agency. The funding agency may consider the showcasing certain technology which are its icons, but it may not be the actual focus technology that is needed in the project area. There have also been instances when funding agency is oriented to proprietary technology solution. This means solutions which use technology that are marketed and protected by the registered trade name. Very often this property technology may not be needed. Locally available tools and application will have the capacity to yield better results at a cheaper cost. Since the focus of an extension agency is change in behavior, change in knowledge and change in attitude, along with other intangible measures, finding funding agency to support extension projects become difficult. Integrating the use of ICT with local project, with existing media, local communication methods and traditions is a difficult task. Often, new communication channels have to be developed. Rarely are women and youth of local communities considered as stakeholders and are seldom involved in planning processes of community projects. Now, some of the tools that cyber extension has been using are the email, file transfer protocol, telenet, usernet groups and the World Wide Web. The electronic mail is an important method to exchange information from one computer to another. The message exchanges are digital messages. It is one of the most widely used form of cyber communication. It's an application available on the internet to send and receive messages. There are special companies that provide internet services, and they are called internet service providers. Some of them provide high-speed internet via phone lines. There is also something called the dial-up internet and high-speed cable internet. Technically, email is a system of delivering messages on the computer connected to the internet. Initially, both the computers were needed to be connected at the same time. With advances in technology, today the email system operates on the store and forward model. The server designed for email is able to accept, store and forward and deliver messages. It is not necessary for the users and computers to be online simultaneously. As long as they are connected briefly, typically a mail server or a web mail, they will be able to send and receive messages. Today, traditional systems of communication are completely replaced by the internet. For most internet users, traditional methods such as posts, fax, telephones, telegrams, etc. are not relevant, and many of the people today are unaware of these traditional methods, as some of them do not exist. It has replaced the paper postal service, or what used to be known as letters. Both official and personal messages were sent and are now replaced with electronic versions. Emails are advanced versions as they are able to communicate all type of audio and visual material. Text, graphics, audios and visual clips are sent and received as long as they are digitalized. We also have the file transfer protocol. This is a special set of rules to assist in connections. The file transfer protocol is a standard internet protocol to transmit files between computers along with TCP and IP, which are computer language connections. It is one of the methods of supporting remote networks which allows simple file transfer of documents. FTP servers are capable of saving vast amounts of data or information as files. The data in these files cannot be accessed directly, rather the entire file should be transferred to the local computer. FTP relies on the client initiating a request. The request could be for uploading, downloading, deleting, renaming, moving or copying files. Another tool of cyber extension is the Telenet. Telenet is a computer application that allows a user to log on to another or someone else's computer. It's a user command and an underlying TCP or IP, which is a basic communication language of computers, to access other computers. It allows access to other users or the administrators who can remotely log on to a computer. Telenet is an application when connected to the internet is capable of requesting specific files through the use of HTTP files. It's not actually possible to be logged on as a user of the computer. Only specific applications and data on remote computers which are assigned to Telenet can be used after logging as a regular user. Usernet news groups. Usernet news groups are a collection of notes or messages on different subjects that are posted by the user onto a server or a worldwide network. A collection of notes on a particular subject which is posted on the worldwide network is known as news groups. Most of the news groups which are hosted on the internet connected servers. They can also be hosted for servers that are not connected to the internet. Usernet's original protocol was called the Unix to Unix copy. News groups provide a broad area like a bulletin board where users can read from the options available and are sent entries of their own to be posted. Modern web browsers like Explorers include software for reading and posting to Usernets. There are thousands of news groups and it is possible to form new ones. They are currently organized into every imaginable area of interests. The World Wide Web is a combination of all the resources and users on the internet who use the hypertext transfer protocol. It is commonly referred to as the web. The internet and the web are often confused. They are two completely different things which are intricately connected. The internet is a name as the name suggests, is a network which encompasses the multitude of smaller networks. It is made up of supporting technologies and other infrastructure. On the other hand, the web is a communication model. It enables the exchange of information over the internet. It uses the HTTP for exchange of information. It can be said that the www is the internet servers that support multimedia. It is made up of a vast storehouse of hypertext documents written using the hypertext markup language HTML. Hypertext is a method used to present texts, images, sounds and videos that are linked together in a non-sequential web of associations. The www is made up of tools to help locate and transport information between computers. These tools and protocols assist in exploring the internet. It is therefore a combination of all the resources and users on the internet using the hypertext transfer protocol. Cyber extension for agricultural development. Now we need to look at some of the important and famous ICT projects in the country. Some of the most popular cyber extension programs have happened in Madhya Pradesh, which is called the Gayadut project. In Maharashtra, it was called the Vana Wired Village project. In Pondicherry, it was the Information Village project of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. In Andhra Pradesh, it was called the iKisan. Gujarat has the automated milk collection centers of Amul dairy cooperatives. Karnataka has the land record computerization, Bhumi. Gujarat has the knowledge network of grassroots innovation society, the Society for Research and Initiatives. The advantages of e-extension over other distance learning programs are as follows. Its ability to overcome the logistic challenges of bringing together field staff who work in different locations spread over a wide geographical area. It reduces the chance of restricted access to programs due to various trials. It offers users access at any time, in any place and at any phase. It reduces travel and time away from work. It enables scheduling implementation of project. Provides cost-effective customization and scalability to different audiences, stakeholders, countries, regions and languages. Allows for easy distribution and updates. In conclusion, we can say that cyber extension is extremely helpful to the people because people are able to access large amounts of information at their own pace in their own time. So this is one of the chief benefits of cyber extension. E-extension is able to break barriers among the people in the societies. People are able to connect with each other. People are able to understand each other better because of the cyber space that is provided. They could interact. They have time to understand. There is a lot of social and cultural integration that is taking place. And by this integration, people are able to locate and see for themselves how they can do things differently. And it's not necessary to be following the same kind of procedures that they have been doing. They are able to see different ways of doing things. They are able to appreciate things being done differently. Because of information that is available without geographic barriers, because of information is available without the barriers of geographic locations, people are able to understand the concepts much more easily. They are able to see when maybe there is one particular community which has developed a particular technique, and that can be transmitted to the people in another geographic location, so that these also will not have to spend time developing. Rather, they take off from wherever the first community has moved forward. So these are some of the advantages of cyber extension that we could see in the space of community development. Cyber extension has been able to help communities develop by incorporating new techniques, by incorporating new ways of doing, by incorporating new methods of communicating, by incorporating new ways of functioning.